I created the story engine because I've met so many writers who are walking around with just the most amazing story ideas in their heads, and for whatever reason they couldn't get them down on paper. I wanted to design a deck of cards that would let writers create their own writing prompts in their own style. Using the story engine deck, you can create new character concepts, plot threads. If you play Dungeons & Dragons, you can use it to create new NPCs, new settings, new magic items. I really recommend you check out storyenginedeck.com.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the second RPG panel for TBRCon 2024. I'm still not used to saying 2024 instead of 2023. I am joined by Louise Holland, DB Rook, A.C. Cross, and Zachary Rosenberg. I'm Tom Bookbeard, and we'll be playing Deadlands today. We'll just allow our authors to tell us a little bit about themselves, their books, and who they're playing. We will start with Louise.
Well, hell. Hey, guys. My name is Louise Holland. I am an indie fantasy author from Adelaide, Australia. My debut novel, Spark of the Divine, dropped last November, so she's coming up on her 3-month anniversary, or 2-month. I don't know how time works. And it is based on a real-life Dungeons & Dragons campaign. So I'm not too far from home in this RPG, but if I add up the dice wrong, please don't come for me. Today I'll be playing Leslie Schilling, who is actually one of the main characters in this book. She translates well over to Deadlands because she is an angry gunslinger.
And DB, my man from the Four Beersmen of the Bookpocalypse.
Oh, yes. So I'm DB Rook. I'm the author of Callous and Crow, which is a kind of weird Western odyssey of revenge and redemption with vampires, obviously. And today I'm going to be playing Patrick Preach Teach, who is a bounty hunter with he kind of believes he's a preacher, but he's not actually a preacher. He's a little bit messed up in the head. Believes he's a preacher. Needs to kind of pray a lot. Needs to ask for forgiveness. But he's a bounty hunter. He's a bounty hunter, and he's gonna beat people up.
Nice. A.C. Cross, my main Duolingo buddy.
Yeah, we rock it. Hey everyone, my name is A.C. Cross. I am the author of a lot of books, but primarily Where Blood Runs Gold. You can see that. Oh, and Tom's got that as well. That one is a weird Western that involves found family, a bit of revenge, and basically the Cthulhu mythos. So a lot of weird stuff happens. I also just published the Boddicker Letters, which is an epistolary story that is straight up Lovecraft. So clearly I have a theme. Today I'll be playing Walton Rawpaws Honeywell. He is a bounty hunter, kind of, with a very dark secret that may not be alone inside his own mind. So he will be very eloquent, but may make things painful.
Nice. And last but no means least, we have Zachary Rosenberg with us today.
Hey everyone, I'm Zach Rosenberg, horror writer from Florida, and I'm author of 2 books right now, with 2 more coming out this year, but the one I am here to talk about is Hunger's As Old as This Land, which Tom has also got. And this is, as I described it, a Jewish horror Western with Jewish characters and gunslingers in the West being menaced by monsters, both human and supernatural. So the character I'm going to be playing today is Tristan Engel, who is a man outlaw bounty hunter on the run from his past and the things that may or may not be hunting him.
Nice. I don't have a book out yet, but watch this space. I'm working on 2 of them. One of them is a weird Western, I promise.
Hell
It
yeah.
also has a card magic backing system, so it's kind of weird Western Yu-Gi-Oh. It's going to be off the wall. And further ado to our session now. Our posse find themselves aboard the Cajun Princess, scooting on down the bayou. in first class, no less. It's getting to the golden hour. The day's been a long one. You've all been on the road for some time, and you feel like you deserved a little bit of rest and relaxation, a bit of pampering aboard the fine steamer. You all find yourselves in the bar. There is a cacophony of crickets and frogs serenading you as you slowly, languidly move down the bayou. There's not many people in the bar at the moment, so you all sort of gravitate around the same table. You all trade pleasantries, and you all start talking about yourselves. Who would like to start and tell a bit about their character?
Ladies first.
Well, honestly, that ain't none of y'all damn business, but I guess I'll do it for the sake of the stream. I'm not entirely sure how I ended up here, but I've been tracking weird shit that's been going down. Anything kind of out of the ordinary, I like to follow a lead on. I've been doing that ever since my mom and pa passed. And besides that, keeping my sister safe is all I really care about. She's got a little bit of the supernatural in her, so let's not bring her up or I'll kill y'all.
You can try.
We'll see. She's got a very, very nice revolver, which is very shiny, very, very well maintained, strapped on the hip. Other than that, long brown hair, back in a braid, freckles, farmersy kind of tan, like definitely outdoors a lot. Wearing like an oversized kind of plaid shirt, your traveling duster kind of trousers, boots, very, very rurally, your typical gunslingery kind of kit. Yeah. And probably nursing a whiskey.
I think it's safe to say you've all been served several fingers of whiskey by this point.
Absolutely.
Preach.
See, the first thing that I need to explain is that I don't like water. I don't want to be on this boat. I don't like men who like the water. I'm not comfortable, and I don't particularly need to talk to anyone except God, who is the man who I'm going to be chatting to throughout this journey. This is just what I need to do to get to where I need to be. No disrespect to anyone, but I'm not in a comfortable place. I'll just leave you to the journey.
Raw Paul.
Well, Preach. I hate to tell you, but I've already talked with God. Personally, he don't like me very much.
Preach, can you do a notice roll for me at this point?
Give me a dice.
Notice roll for you is a D4. Roll a D6, which is your wild dice, except whichever gives you the highest result.
Yes, smashed a 6.
Ooh, roll it again.
And another 6. Would you believe it?
Roll it again.
And a 1.
So 6, 12, 13 altogether, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, as Rawpaw says this, you get a real bad feeling, and Breach sort of squints, and Rawpaw's looking back at him, but there's something else behind his eyes that's also looking at you as well. And what you see in those eyes makes your blood run cold.
See, I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable in this place. I'm sure as shit not comfortable talking to you.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Angel.
Well, feels like we should all just at least try to get along if we're going to be stuck together. And gotta say, if you didn't like the water, it must have been something very strange that brought you on a place like this. As for if we're talking about God, then, well, I've known mercy and I've known wrath, and I don't really care to talk about neither right now. In fact, the only God I'm hoping to believe in is found in the bottom of this glass. Kind of like knocks it back, takes another sip. He's got kind of short black hair, about a 5 o'clock shadow. Looks like he hasn't shaved in a few days. Kind of got like his clothes are a little dusty, like he's been on the trail for a while, and he looks a little both relieved and little jumpy, kind of looking around a little closely, studying people around him. So here's to a peaceful voyage, another glass, and not murdering one another before we set foot on land again.
I'll drink to
No
that.
promises.
Here's to y'all shutting the fuck up.
He's going to clap
What is,
glass.
I forgot to say what I look like. What does Preach look like?
Preach looks adorned in religious jewelry. He's got a dog collar, but it's blood-stained orange. He's the epitome of absolute preacher, but it's very, very false.
Yeah, Sarapaz is taller, kind of skinny, not like emaciated, but definitely not normally skinny. He has a kind of a longer beard, not quite as long as our fantastic GM or Marshall there, but close enough. Beaten up black cowboy hat with a red band, like blood red on it. And he's kind of fiddling with a hunting knife that has a bone handle, and then the blade looks almost white. And it doesn't make sense because metal doesn't become white, but it's almost white.
At this point, could you all make me a notice roll? Let's get everyone rolling.
All right, I think I roll a D4.
So that's a D4 and a D6?
Yeah, you all roll a d6, which is your wild die, except the highest result.
Yep.
So I rolled a 6. That means it explodes, right?
Yeah, so if you roll a 6 on your wild die, roll it again.
I rolled a 4.
Okay.
5.
5 on my wild.
Okay. Zach, did you...
total.
11 total. Zach, you rolled a 4 on your d4.
I rolled a... Let me roll my D4. That's going to be a 6 total.
Okay, you don't add them together, you just take the highest. So highest is a 4, yeah?
Highest is a
Okay.
4.
Yeah, but then when you get the top of each number, you can roll it again. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, if you ace the die, you roll it again.
Yeah.
I did not ace it.
Leslie, right about the time you drink to everyone shut the fuck up, out of the corner of your eye, you see a man at the bar. Very dark-skinned man, wearing extremely shabby clothes, and he's missing his left hand. Very grizzled, unshaven appearance, and very short cropped hair. A very large 3-line scar runs across his entire face. And this guy's looking directly at your table. The rest of you kind of see Leslie checking out this guy, and you will turn to see him watching you all. What do the 4 of you do in this situation?
Are there any empty chairs at our table?
This is a fairly small bar. Like, you're in a table where you're all surrounded in 4 chairs, but the table next to you is free and has 4 empty seats.
Yeah, cool. I kind of lean back with my whiskey glass, so I'll just... And I kind of go like that to the nearest empty chair, and I'm like, if you got something to say, say it.
Roll me a persuasion check. Why not? We'll call it a persuasion. If you don't have persuasion, it's a -2 penalty on a D4.
I do have it, thank God, but it's only
Nice.
a D4. So
D4 and a wild die.
The highest is a 2, so not great.
Ooh. Okay.
Which is not persuasive.
The man shrugs and he brings his half-drunk bottle of whiskey with him, and he does sit down next to you, but he doesn't say anything. He just keeps looking at the four of you.
You know, a lot of people look at me. Go ahead, Angel.
Who was that fella, and why are we supposed to care about this? Ain't this supposed to just be a peaceful trip with all of us minding our own business?
This guy is the epitome of why you don't fuck about in water. I imagine you've met
You think water did that shit to his face?
creatures in the water did that shit to his face.
What creatures in the water are we talking about?
Y'all want to know what did this to my face?
We didn't
Do we have to hear?
I think Preach was just theorizing.
Hey, you actually talk.
It was the sisters of the bayou.
What'd you do to piss him off?
I did nothing. I was
I don't
simply
believe that for a fucking minute.
What now is a sister of the bayou? I've known some sisters, but they ain't to be found in anything that in no bayou I've seen.
a lot of folks round here been gone missing. The fishermen been blaming the sisters. I'm hoping I'm gonna see them again and find out where they're coming from.
And what are
Maybe
you
you
gonna
folks would want to help me out a little. Here.
What are you gonna do if you find them?
Oh, sorry, AC, we lost you a bit there.
What are you gonna do if you find them?
He leans back. He takes a long swig of whiskey. I'm gonna shoot him. That's what I'm gonna do.
You think that's gonna matter at all?
I'm thinking the four of you look like the types who'd be good at shooting stuff, and might have thought you want to join in for a bit of sport.
You
So
got
pay?
money?
Of course it pays. I'll pay you $5 for every sister that you bring.
How many sisters are there exactly? And when we're talking sisters of the bayou, are we talking women of the cloth, or are we talking something deeper and hungrier?
We talking
It's a
something
metaphor.
that's gonna strip the skin from your bones, boy.
So gators.
Well, that don't seem like you're gonna have to make that a little more worth our while. $5 measly for things that would strip the skin from our bones. Seems like you need to up that price unless you think our lives are worth something so cheap.
And what sort of price you suggesting, boy?
I'm asking what you're able to pay.
Oh, I got money. Ain't no problem getting you money, boy. Mightn't thinking you're a bit too scared to go out shooting some sisters now.
My friend, I ain't gonna deny that fear is a thing that has kept me alive to date. So, but money does numb some of those fears. So I think that if you offer a little more and sweeten that pot, we might be willing to go along with what you got.
You got a deal, boy.
Make it worth our while. I don't want to be here. Make it worth my while. Got me.
$10 for every sister.
Now, when you say for every sister, do you mean just killing them? How do you want proof? Do you want their heads? I can do that, but I want to know.
I want heads, fangs, tails, Hell, I'll take their postcode if that's all it's gonna take to prove it. Just kill him. Bring something, fingers, don't matter. They just need to be gone out of the bayou. Do you understand?
Oh, I understand. What are we looking for? What do they look like?
Well, as it happens, we're gonna be sailing right on by them, friends, so you're about to collect a lot more money than you thought.
Oh, shit.
I'll leave y'all to get prepared.
What's your name?
Brought some bullets with you. My name, Sylvain Boudreau. People call me Sidearm. Pleasure to make
All right,
y'all
Sylvain, Mr.
acquaintances.
Boudreau. Let me put it to you like this. I can't speak for all of us, but we'll do this. Could break up the monotony a little bit. But if you try to fuck us, try to stop us from getting the money that you owe us, they will never find your body. And I can promise you that.
I mean, I think that goes without saying. We are on a ship on the bayou. We would just logically throw it overboard.
I like you folks. I think you're going to do just fine on the bayou. If y'all need me, I'll be in my cabin. Room 13. Not first.
Shocker.
Boudreau gets up and leaves you to your table. What do the four of you want to do? Do you stay put? Do you want to head off to get prepared or do something else?
Well,
Do
first
any of y'all need to do shit before we go?
we're on a boat. Don't see what there might need doing, except like he just like looks at like the whiskey and just knocks the rest of it back before putting the glass down. I think that was all the prep.
Breach, you got to pray or something?
Yeah, I don't appreciate the tone, but yes, I do need to pray. Some of us need to keep a straight line.
Yeah, waste of time, but okay. Do what you got to do.
Well, the problem with praying is sometimes God talks back.
Yeah, like I said, I've talked to God. He don't care.
He don't care
I
for
just think
you.
it's cute that y'all only believe in one.
Well, I've seen things that sure as hell make me believe in something old and something vicious and dark. Be
Now
ashamed
that-
of all there was.
That is true. Is there a way for me to kind of flash like a glimpse of what's inside me to Angel?
I'll let you do that just as a free action.
Okay, I'll just do that. I'll just kind of lock eyes with Angel and be like, just for a second, and then
Tristan's just gonna lift an eyebrow. Seems you got a friend.
you could say that. So we're gonna go kill some bitches or what?
Let's not use that word.
You can have a Benny for that. Okay. Assuming you all pick up and leave the bar, or Preacher, you stay and put to pray first?
I need to take some time in my room. I will be joining you shortly.
Let us know what God says.
He's gonna pat Preacher's shoulder. Don't worry about the water. It's just everywhere.
Whatever we're going to face, we're gonna need some divine influence.
We're gonna need some human-made lead for it, I wager.
Yeah, all we need is bullets. Let's go.
I like you,
Okay.
Shilling.
Feeling ain't mutual, but we'll do what we do.
So, are you guys going to head to the cabins which are at the back of the steamer? Or are you going to head out on deck? Or is there anywhere else you'd like to go?
Did old mate, whose name I've so conveniently forgotten, did he say...
Boudreau.
he kind of gave the impression that these things would be off the boat and we would need to be kind of like pinging them over the side, or were they going to come and get us? We're going to have to go lifeboats.
Sailing right on by them.
Right on by them, yeah. Cool. I love doing drive-bys. This is, yeah.
You know, if people spend as much time being clear as they did putting in the effort to being cryptic, I think a lot more might get done in this world. Like, you know, how hard is it to say the sisters are going to be at point B, you get to point A, pull the trigger when you see them, they are weak to X, Y, and Z. And, you know, a little more of that, a little less, they will strip you to the bone, boy, would go a very long way.
Do you want me to hold your hand too? Do you want me to write it down? Do you need a cheat sheet?
Shillin, I ain't saying I ain't adaptable. I'm just saying people could stand to be a little more helpful.
I'll pay that.
These people.
Is that a dig at me and God?
It can be if you want.
I'll head out to the deck.
we go to the deck.
Robots have more than enough of this shit.
Oh, we're doomed. We are 100% doomed.
So, are we splitting the party, or are you going to follow Raw Paws out on the deck?
You know, team, I think it's a good idea we stay together at this point.
I'm going to follow a very leisurely distance to express that I've done my business, but I'm following.
Okay. Rawpaw, obviously, you go out on the deck first. There are a few of the passengers who are milling around. A lot of them are the upper class types, people with a bit of old fashioned money behind them. So lots of top hats, real fancy suits. The good folk, if you know what I mean. One of the things you notice first is at the bow of the ship is a Gatling gun, pretty big one.
Yeah.
These are troubling times, and there's a lot of money on board the Cajun Princess. They got to protect their own, and they're paying customers. Preach, because you're lagging back, and you did mention you'd gone to pray in your cabin quickly. You do pass Boudreaux's cabin on your way back to join the others, and you do overhear him, and you can just make out him saying, "Don't worry, Yara, I'm gonna find you. I've got some people coming, and they're gonna find you, and we'll get you out of the bayou. Don't you worry, Daddy's coming." Do you want to relay this to the others, or keep it to yourself for now?
Yeah, I'll relay that in a kind of I give my time to God, and I got to hear the truth.
Okay, so Preach catches you all up on the deck and lets you know what he's overheard from Boudreaux.
Why did you not say anything? God damn it.
It sounds like something interesting on your mind.
I'd rather go inside and drink if we're going to get lied to immediately. At least now that liquor won't lie to me.
Unfortunately, I think we've reached the point where getting further intoxication would be unwise, Rapaz.
The only thing that's changes is now I actually give a shit.
Well, it looks like God has performed a miracle.
Don't talk God to me.
All I can say is we paid a ticket price. We need to make some money, and God is keeping it sweet.
I'm going to ask all of y'all to make me another notice roll at this point.
That's going to be a 3 was my highest.
Got a 4 on my 4.
Ooh, roll again.
Just a D4 roll again?
Yep.
3.
Okay.
5 for me.
So it'll be 7.
Yeah, 5, same.
The highest was Raw Paw. A lot of y'all are still chatting to Preach about what he's overheard Boudreaux saying in his cabin. Raw Paw, you've heard enough. You start scoping out all the people aboard the boat. You've made more than a note of the Gatling gun at the front of the ship, which could come in handy. But you're also now more interested in who's there. Now, it seems like 3 of the passengers are all surrounding quite a old, round-looking old gentleman. 2 of them are women wearing your classic saloon girl corsets, big old fancy bonnet on top. The other is a guy who's just wearing a long black duster, very short, well-kept beard, and just a bowler hat. The Rotan guy looks a little uncomfortable, and you see one of the women draw a knife. What would Raw Paws do in this situation?
Well, there's a knife, so he's immediately going to try to get rid of the knife.
Okay. How'd you do that?
I'll go up and... What's the size of this person?
The lady who's brandished the knife is a small 5'3" lady, long, flowing, curly blonde hair. Yeah, she's a lot smaller than you. You're well over 6 foot yourself.
Can I slap the knife out of her hand and into the bite?
Ooh, okay. That sounds to me like an agility. Well, you can call it fighting or agility, up to you.
Let's do agility.
It's a D8 either way. D8 and your wild die. What happened?
D8 and the wild die?
Yeah.
D8 was an 8.
Ooh. Okay. Roll it again.
3. So 11 total.
Okay. Because you're substantially larger than this person, I'm going to call it a success with a raise, because it wasn't that high. A check to pass. The 3 of you watch as Raw Paws quickly strides and makes up the deck between himself and the 4 people in an altercation. All you see is Raw Paws go whack, and then a little splish in the bite.
I'll lean forward and say, I don't like blades either.
You can have a Benny for that one, DB. At this point, the man in the bowler hat, he grabs a fistful of your duster, Raw Paws, and he goes, "What the hell do you think you're doing, friend?"
Yeah, I don't like that. I immediately kind of give him a shove in the chest, not like to knock him off the boat, but just enough to like get him back, because he touched me, and that was a problem.
Okay, that is going to be an opposed strength roll. So do me a strength check, please.
Okay.
He's going to do on as well. Ah, wow.
6 on the wild.
Okay, roll again.
4 on the wild. So 10 total.
10.
Okay, yeah, he rolled a 1, which is which is bad news for him. So the 3 of you watch as this guy shouts in Rawpaw's face and grabs a fistful of his shirt. Rawpaws essentially just pushes him in the face. The guy lets go and goes tumbling backwards. And at this point, both of the ladies howl with rage. They both pull derringers, and they both start firing in all directions. And we are going to go to combat.
God damn.
Was this
All right.
really worth it? Pause. Was it worth it?
This is why we mind our damn business.
I'm just chilling.
They're just trying to role play some sort of weird sex bullshit.
I was content not to judge.
I wasn't.
How many are going at us?
So far, there are two ladies with derringers just firing wildly and a guy on the floor. Now, the way combat works in Deadlands is I will draw you each an action card and one for the baddies as well. I'll do it clockwise. So, Louise, you have 3 clubs. DB, 9 of spades. Aaron, 8 of spades. Zach, 6 of spades. I did shuffle these, I promise.
I feel left out.
The bandits have a 9 of clubs. We do go in reverse alphabetical order. So it is DB first, then the bandits, then Aaron.
So I'm going to knuckle dust the nearest person I can knock out.
All right. So what happens is Teach springs forward to the nearest lady, which is the blonde one, and you try to punch her in the face with a knuckle duster. Chivalrous man of God there. Roll me a fighting check, please.
So that's a total of 10.
Did you get a 10 on your 10?
I exploded and then a 4.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Roll your damage because that well exceeds her toughness.
5.
Okay. You stride forward, you close the gap. Your what metal is your knuckle duster? Brass?
Yeah.
Classic brass knuckle duster.
Yeah.
You just punch her square in the nose and you feel the bone crush under your knuckles, and the woman lets out another ear-splitting howl as you full on break her nose. We're going to go next in initiative order, which is the bandits themselves. Both ladies are going to converge on you, Teep, because you just punched one of them full on in the face.
Yeah.
In God's name.
The one who's just been punched is going to wildly go for you with the derringer, as is the other one. What is your toughness, please?
5.
Okay. So the lady who punched in the face rolled a 1. So she's still pretty giddy from you've just struck her. Her bullet sails harmlessly past your ear. The other one also misses because she's pretty shaken up that you've come and assaulted her friend. They were not expecting that. Next up is Rawpaws.
So I'm going to place my hands on the shoulders of the other woman that's shooting. Again, I'm going to use Spook.
Ooh, okay. All right. Remind me what you need to roll for Spook.
So,
Darkness.
so Spook is... that is every so often an unfortunate soul gets a glimpse of the thing that lives inside a hero somewhere for the hills. As an action, the hero can force a single target to make a fear check at -2.
Okay. Wow. Somehow I think this is not going to go well for her. -2. Yeah, she fails. So was it the one that teachers just punched, or the other one that you're?
This is the other one.
Oh God. So this is a lady, very quite short crop brown hair and a bob, nice feather in her hair. Raw paws. Essentially, you pick her up, and your face just changes into this demonic visage, and a bit like that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where all of the color and just life drains from her face, and her mouth just opens in a silent scream. And I'll give you a bonus action. What do you want to do with this poor lady next?
I just want to set her down next to the wall.
She doesn't really move. You just set her down and she's still there.
Okay.
Did anyone else see that?
He was doing this away, so you've seen the back of his head. All you've seen is this poor lady look at Rawpaw's face, and as far as you can tell, he must have said something real nasty to her. It is your go, Angel. And what would you like to do? There's the two ladies. One of them is more or less incapacitated. The guy's still lying on the floor, dazed. What do you do?
Let me think. The other one is armed and firing, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to neutralize this threat with, I'm going to draw the gun in one swift motion and try to just basically shoot her down.
Okay. Are you calling the shot? Is there any particular target you want to hit, or are you just aiming and firing?
I think I am going to, you know what? I am going to try something a little slick and shoot like the gun out of her hand. Like maybe just take off the thumb.
Okay. So called shot will -2 to your roll, which will be a shooting roll.
Right.
I think you're pretty good for shooting, though.
I am quite good for shooting. Yeah, I got a D10 on that one. So you said -2, right?
Yep, D10 -2. Roll your wild die as well.
All right. Just for this one, my wild die would be a D6.
Yep.
All right. Let me roll a D6. Okay, my wild dice is a 4, and I got a 9 on my D10. So -2 would be a 7.
Yes, that exceeds her toughness. So, can you describe what happens, please?
Tristan is going to draw the gun in one smooth motion, fire a shot that is going to hit the gun and also basically shoot off her thumb at the same time as a metallic clang echoes, and the derringer basically falls to the is sent flying across the ground and hopefully discharges without, and hopefully lands without discharging and hurting anyone, because this is really dangerous.
Nice. Benny for the description for you. Yeah, the lady just stares at her now stump of her thumb and can't quite believe that she's now missing the digit and the gum, and she's just now staring dumbstruck at the blood now spurting from her thumb stump.
Now, why don't we wrap that up, and why don't we talk like civilized people?
Leslie, two very unfortunate lady bandits and one male bandit on the floor. What did Leslie do?
Leslie crosses her arms and leans on the nearest wall, watching this all unfold, because seems like they got it covered.
Love it.
Can I say to that thing? I don't appreciate your methods, but can I hold out a fist?
Is nothing sacred?
He taps the fist reluctantly, but he understands the difficulty that it takes for Preach to offer that sort of congratulations.
Aww. Making friends in the West. Okay. I want to say the combat is over because the guy on the floor really doesn't want to get up and be next.
Surprising.
Now, one thing that all of you notice at this stage is, do you remember the cacophony of frogs and crickets I mentioned earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not there anymore. That's now been replaced by complete silence.
Oh, that ain't right.
That's bad.
And
God is telling me that the shit is about to happen.
That's common
the
sense.
lady who's missing a thumb, she looks at Angel and she just gabbers like, you fucking son of a fucking bitch. And she's gesticulating and she says this, and there's blood from the thumb stump spraying everywhere.
I did say to wrap that.
Yeah, you don't want to be moving that around.
Yeah.
At this point, she gets a little bit too near the edge of the ship, and you all see a scaly pair of green clawed hands reach around her, grab her by the face, and pull her back over the side. There is a loud splash and the sound of very wet ripping and tearing and screeching.
All right. First thing we're establishing, that was not my fault.
She probably didn't have to wrap it anymore.
I think she has greater concerns.
I'm giving you both bennies for that. That was fantastic.
We all agree that in my instructions, never once did I say go near to the side of the boat.
The gentleman picks himself up to the floor and he runs to the side and peers over.
Oh, don't do that.
You briefly hear him saying, "Oh my God!" And then suddenly he shivers and you hear a and then he turns around and both of his eyes are missing. And he starts screaming and running in all directions and clatters straight into Rawpaw.
How close am I to the edge of the ship?
You're close enough to do what I think you're about to do.
I gently guide him over the edge.
He clatters into Rawpaw. He bounces off the man mountain that he is. Rawpaw just sort of gives him a little gentle one-fingered tap, and the guy ragdolls over the side. And again, you hear the rending, the tearing, the snarling beneath.
So I'm going to lean forward again and say, I approve.
I'm
Now,
kind of wondering why that wasn't necessary.
He was gonna have a very bad life. What little of it remained, I just accelerated it. It was mercy, if you really want to think about it that way.
Yeah, I'm saying writers who get their rejections are going to have tough lives too. We don't throw them over the side.
Maybe we should.
We should.
Are we talking about slush pile authors or those ones who go crazy and start blaming woke people for bad reviews on Goodreads?
Ooh.
Yes.
Can you give bennies to the marshal?
Yes.
All right. I'm just pointing out we might want to keep like the bloodlust under control just a little, and that we establish some sanctity of human life, which, you know, I was hoping a preacher would understand, but apparently...
I'm going to the bathroom. Let me know when he stops yapping.
heads over to the bathroom, both in and out of game. And at this point, given that two of the passengers, even though they were assholes, it does throw the entire deck into chaos. The rotund man who was being breast ganged by these guys, he turns a deathly shade of white, and he scrabbles as quickly away from the side as he can. At this point, a large, hulking, green, reptilian-skinned humanoid drags itself over the side. Its claws dig into the deck as it pulls itself over the side. The top half is female. No clothes at all, just naked female, but that green reptilian skin. The lower half, almost like a centaur, is gator. So Louise, TLDR,
What the fuck?
gator lady has just hauled herself over the side of the ship.
Well,
Can
that's
you
nice of
all just make me a fear check? That's going to be a spirit roll for all of you.
Let me just check my spirit.
Is that with a D6 as well? No.
Look at your attributes. Look at the number next to spirit. I think you're a 4.
I'm a 4 and I got a 4.
You don't
Mine,
get a D6. Well.
I got a 4. I got a 4 and
Same.
D4.
Okay. If you ace a D4, you can roll it again.
2.
Also 4 again.
Roll it again.
Rolling again. That's going to be a 1. So that's going to be 9
Right.
total.
I mean, Tristan's clearly seen these monsters before, so he's completely unfazed at the gator lady who pulls herself over the side. Roll
16.
pause.
I'm just going to
You're
note
surprised.
Oh,
What?
sorry, Tom. I was just going to say, I just love the turn of phrase is unfazed by the gator lady.
Put that on a banner.
Yeah, I'm faced by the gator lady. Raw pause. You're more taken aback than Tristan is, but not enough to shake you or anything like that. Preach and Lessie, how did you guys do?
I'm pretty conflicted about this point. I don't think I should be here. I think I need to get out of there.
I rolled a 5 on a 6, but I have a +2 with my guts edge. So yeah, I got a 7
Okay.
total.
Yeah, Leslie's completely fine as well. Again,
I've seen worse.
This evil shit is for you. I think I need to just step back.
Preach. I'm thinking that like stepping back a little too far. We've already seen the results of that.
So you'll punch a human woman in the face, but when it comes to gators,
Like a gator lady.
I didn't punch nobody. I shot her.
not you, idiot,
Preach,
the
it's
preacher.
Called for action. Now this is fucking dark.
All right. I just kind of imagine the gator lady just like looking back and forth between who's talking.
We're just having a conversation. She's like, "Are you guys gonna go?" Or
Are we gonna do this or what?
the gator lady goes
smiling
for
her
the.
claws.
Tristan is just like,
She-
one moment, we are having a conversation.
Her yellow eyes, they fix upon the portly man on the floor, and she pounces on him and essentially just degloves both of his arms with her claws, and then starts tearing into him with
Wow.
teeth, with claws, and it ain't pretty. And at this point, 3 more gator ladies start hauling themselves over the side, and you can hear more starting to rise out of the water below you. At this point, Boudreaux shows up. Oh my god! I told you about them sisters, didn't I, boss?
No, not really. You didn't. Not like this. A little less, oh, they will strip you to the bone in the most ominous and obscure of terms, and a little more, oh, they are the unholy blend of human female and hungry gator, and we might have been a little more prepared. We need to work on your clarity, sir.
He draws his gun and just gestures towards the guy being ripped to ribbons on the floor. We know what's happening to him, boy.
We will get to the subject of that fella. Right
Are we
there.
really arguing about definitions when we need to kill some things?
Can I kill some things, or am I too?
I'd say you're vulnerable. You can still act. You're not shaken. Your faith just about keeps you sane.
I know
but
I'm doing God's work, and I'm going to shoot that shit in the head.
you don't want any of these sisters getting near you. Yeah. At the moment, there are more and more sisters getting onto the deck. What do all of you want to do?
Yeah, that's the point that Leslie draws her gun.
Yep.
I'm just going to point out that has anyone here ever tried to shoot a gator? I'm just throwing it out there that you need really good aim or a really good gun, and even then, it's a little tough. We might want.
Do you need me to show you how to use a gun?
No,
what you need is God to support your actions. That's what you need.
Okay, well, I think God is telling us that maybe we need to fall back, in the military action, we lay down what is called suppressing fire.
Look, unless you want to meet your God right now, start shooting.
My 45's already out.
I feel that I feel that the voice of reason has fallen upon deaf ears at this point. But I'm just saying we could barricade ourselves at the other end of the ship.
What's the nearest one to me?
I can take some down. I want to take some down.
You do that. I'm just saying you might want to aim for the head and the eyes. The eyes might be the vulnerable spot. We might need to shoot till we hit brain.
Let's find out.
Are we starting shooting?
Hey, Bedro, sidearm. They got any vulnerabilities we should know about?
Just shoot me in the fucking head.
All right, that answers my question.
So I'm fast drawing, and I'm going to shoot the first one in the head. Boom.
Yeah, everyone who wants to shoot at the sisters, by all means, make a shooting roll, because Boudreaux is doing that right now.
Yeah, I'm going to also make a shooting roll.
Hit.
The 8 plus wild dice.
11.
Nice.
That is going to be an 8. Do I roll again?
Yes, if it's an 8 on your 8.
What happens if you get both of them exploded?
You roll both and you
So I
still
roll
expect
both
the
again?
highest result. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, if I got a 12 on my 12 and a 6 on my 6,
Wow.
I roll just the 12 again, or do I roll both again?
Both of them again. Yep.
Okay.
I'm the one that's got God on my side. What's going on there?
I got 11 on one, then I got a 6, which exploded into a 4.
Okay, so you take the 11.
10 total and a 2 on the wild dice.
Okay, so you take the 10.
I rolled a 12 twice and an 11.
Ooh. Wow.
Plus a 6 and a 5.
Okay.
So I rolled like a 50.
Your 12 did some real damage. Teach, what did you roll?
A 12, a 12, and a 5.
Yeah.
29.
Nice. Preach.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I succeeded, but in a very mellow kind of way. But I did succeed.
This is firing between her legs and hitting headshots.
Yeah. So a few things happen. Boudreaux with his Lamat pistol switches it to shotgun mode, and he blasts one that's coming up behind y'all. Tristan and Rawpaw, you whirl around and start laying suppressing fire at the same sister and drive it back over the side between you two and Boudreaux. Teach, you score a hit on the one who's tearing into the now very dead portly gentleman. The shot lands. It looks like it hurt the sister, but it hasn't deterred her at all. Leslie, on the other hand, you get one that's coming right past this carnage, right between the eyes. Her head jerks back, and she rolls over the side with a large splash. And Boudreaux calls out, $10 to the lady. Good job.
Put it on my tab.
That's not how tabs work.
I don't understand how this money works.
This stage of proceedings, the boat starts to keen, and you steal a glance to where the helm is. And what used to be a window where you could clearly see the helmsman is now painted red.
Shit.
And this boat is now herring it towards the side of the bayou, which is nothing but swamp, trees, roots, no discernible edge, and it's gonna hit. What are the four of you gonna do? There are now about 6 sisters on the deck with you who are still alive.
I'm gonna head for the helm.
All right. I'll pause.
Why don't you
get
take
the
your
helm.
demon ass to the helm, and I'll shoot
I'll be
you.
right back. I'm gonna use the restroom. So he's running as I go. You.
Okay.
I'm going to gonna try something crazy like the old like Clint Eastwood style of like quick draw, rapid fire succession, aiming for the heads.
Okay. If you roll a shooting roll for me, because you're trying to hit multiple, we just got a -4.
Oh boy. Let me just check my what I'm rolling again. Okay. Rolling for shooting is a D10 plus my wild dice. Roll D10. That is going to be 9 minus. That's going to be 5. Let me roll my wild dice. Okay, I roll my wild dice again. That is a 6.
Nice.
So that is going to be an 11 total.
Okay, is that with the -4 already?
Okay, from the wild dice still -4?
Yep.
Okay, so 11, so 7 total.
Okay. You do hit your mark each time. Doesn't outright kill them like Leslie's shot did, but it does slow them down enough to cover raw paw, scrabbling up to the helm.
Do I get $5 from it? Do I get $5 from each one? Still hit them.
You gotta kill them, boy.
I'm working on it, sidearm.
Leslie and Preach, what are you guys doing at this point?
Does it look like we're gonna die if we stay where we're standing? Should we be moving to higher ground, or does it look like we can probably take him out?
You can try to stay and take them out. I mean, they are busy eviscerating the rest of the passengers rather than you guys at the moment.
Fair.
As you do, as you do.
Shotgun time.
Okay. Leslie, are you shooting as well?
Yeah, I'll run off another one, see if I can take at least another one out.
Yep, shooting rolls, please.
That's an 8. That one's not an awesome shot anymore, but it's an 8.
Okay. Yeah, 8 will hit. You can roll your damage on that one, since you're hitting just the one. See how much damage you do.
Now, does the damage add together?
No. So you just roll your damage as on your character sheet. So Leslie is 2d6.
Yeah. So I rolled a 3 and a 5, so a 5.
So it's 8. Yep. Okay. You don't quite manage to get one in the head this time. You do bury a slug in the shoulder. of the nearest one. It rears up and hisses loudly, but it's not dead, just wounded and shaken. Preach.
Are we within 12 feet?
Yeah.
So I have successfully hit for 7 points.
Okay. Yep, that hits. Roll your damage.
13.
Nice. Are you shooting the same one that Leslie just did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
As friends and influence people.
As the sister is rearing up, your shot goes straight through the throat, and blood gushes onto the deck, and the sister just writhes around and then slumps forward in a pool of its own blood. And again, Boudreaux goes, "Hot damn! Y'all actually costing me some money." Ropor, at this point, you kick your way into the helm room. You see the remains of the helmsman splattered over the ship's wheel, and there's just enough of him left to put weight on it, and it's pinning the port side to the side of the bayou. You don't see anyone else in here, but there's a large hole in one of the windows and a trail of blood going in and out of it. Would you like to try and grab the wheel or do anything else?
Yep.
What is
grab the wheel? Try to right it.
Okay, roll me a strength check, -2 because the helmsman is pretty well entangled in it now.
Okay, so that's
entrails wrapped around the ship's wheel.
Plus the wild?
Yep.
I'm just going to use the restroom real quick myself.
So that is a 5. The wild was a 3, so it's a 5.
Okay.
Oh, wait, sorry, -2. Both were 3s.
Okay. You try and put everything into it, but it's more or less locked in place from where the helmsman has laid to rest. You get it moving a little bit, but not enough to stop the ship's collision course. Now, what happens is, as you all are fighting on the deck and Rawpaws is wrestling with a helm, the Cajun princess collides with the side of the bayou. And the ship lurches up. Its steamer at the back of the ship catches the bottom of the water. And essentially the entire ship cracks in half. And all of you on the deck watch as you go up and then down again. If all of you on the deck could roll me an agility check, please.
Cool.
All right, I just heard that on agility. Let me just check my character sheet.
Yeah. Ship crashed, broken half, going up and down. We see if you can stand your feet.
Fail.
6.
I got a 6.
I got a 6. Wild dice is a 2.
Oh, do we get a wild as well?
You get wild as well, yep.
Yeah, wild save the day.
6 on the D8.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Boudreaux bowls over and starts rolling to the end of the deck. The rest of you actually are all right. You're staggered, but you managed to grab on something. The sisters are all tumbling and falling back into the water. You're all right, roll pause, because you were hanging on to the helm and all this was happening. There is an ungodly amount of noise going on as the Cajun princess tears into the undergrowth of the swamp. The thing you all notice when the ship comes to a grinding, screeching halt is you've actually punched a hole in a relatively small metal structure, which is more or less the only thing between all of you and the sisters who are now climbing back onto the ship. Would you all like to run towards the structure or stand your ground and fight?
How many are left now? 5?
5, but more are joining them. And from what you can all hear, there's a lot of them on their way. There's a lot of scratching kind of beside the boats, a lot of thrashing in the water. Almost all of the passengers have fallen into the bayou by now, and you can hear the remnants of their dying screams as the sisters take them out one by one.
Is Sidearm okay? Because I heard he didn't get his good roll on his...
Sidearm essentially rolled all the way to the front of the ship, grabbed onto the Gatling gun, and just about managed to stop himself from being crushed to pieces when the ship hit. He disappears into the structure.
Good. Yeah, cool.
Oh dear.
I burst out of the helm room and just kind of yell at everybody, "Let's get the fuck out of here! Structure!" And is there a specific way off that I can go?
You can run into the very thick undergrowth of the bayou. You can jump off the back of the broken ship into the water, either side into the water, or you can go straight ahead into the structure.
Straight ahead into the structure.
Structure it is.
Structure.
All right. You all race after Sidearm, and you find yourself in what looks like a broken down old lab. It's about the size of a small boathouse. It does lead into the water. The main thing you all clock is there are 4 large tanks in the middle of the lab, about big enough for someone raw paw size to fit in, perhaps. And Sidearm is currently looking in the window of one of these tanks. The rest of the lab is ransacked. There's beakers smashed on the floor, equipment's been broken. The most striking thing is above each of these tanks is a glowing hunk of rock, which is black with white veins, and you can all hear a distinct wailing coming from this rock. And you all have the general knowledge, I won't make you roll for it, to know this is ghost rock, which isn't really something you want to fuck with. What do you guys do?
Saddam, what is this?
This is your territory. This is not my fucking territory.
No, we're off the water.
Are the tanks empty, or do all of them have murky water? Is it clear? Because I'm assuming the one that he's looking in is going to have his sister in it, or his daughter, or whoever it was.
You can go and look in the tanks and see for yourself, Leslie.
Yeah, I'll skedaddle on up.
Okay.
Not close enough to touch my nose on the glass. I'm not an idiot, but the curiosity is definitely kicking in.
Are you looking through the same one that Boudreaux is?
Are they close, or are they like in the 4 corners of the room?
They're in the middle of the room in a line. He's looking at the nearest one.
I'll approach him, but on the side where there's like, if I can see in the one next to him, but also the one he's looking at, it's kind of like sus if they've all got someone in, or if it's just the one that he's looking in.
The one he's looking in is empty. He's sort of studying it, and you can hear him muttering, "What the fuck is this place?" Do you want to check any of the others, anyone?
Yeah, might as well. Which I'll go to the other side.
Okay.
Is it 2 and 2 on each side?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check one of the ones on the other side.
Okay. Preach and Angel.
I'm going to spend some time with him and just kind of try and non-judgmentally explain that this is what happens when you fuck about with evil shit.
Well, that is words of wisdom for the ages.
Thank you. It's so helpful.
Rawpaw, you inspect both of the tanks on your side. One of them is empty. The other one is not. You see a sister inside, but it's almost as if she's in stasis. She's not moving. Her eyes are closed. The water is bubbling all around her. There's several wires going in and out of her. And the ghost rock above her tank is glowing brighter than the others.
How many wires do I see?
There's about 10 different ones, going out the back, sides, shoulders, neck. She's looking pretty spaghettied at the moment.
I want to rip them all out.
Fucking finish it. Finish this.
Okay.
Just go and just tear them out.
That could explode. Oh shit! Go for it. He's gonna die.
So you reach into the tank. You rip out all the wires, and the sister just floats to the top of the water. And as her body moves, you'd see this one's actually wearing a necklace, a locket.
Can I take the locket?
Yep. You take the locket. Do you open it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see a photograph inside. Real old, dusty black and white photograph. This is the real early age of photography after all, but you see a smiling teenage girl. She looks around 16, 17, if you hazard a guess. And she's next to a man. And this man has two hands, but the face is very much of the guy who stood next to Lessie, Sylvain Boudreau.
I will bring the locket over to him.
Okay. So you just walk on over and you plonk it in his hand. Do you say anything?
I say, sidearm.
What's that, boy?
You might want to stop looking. And then I put the locket in his hand.
Wait, what is it?
Do we see this or just?
You will see Rawpaws walking over to Boudreau and saying this and putting a locket in his hand. Do the three of you want to do anything about this, or are you just going to let it happen?
Sidearm, what exactly are you getting at?
You mean Rawpaw?
Can I make a roll in some way to quote some scripture?
Yes, you can. You have religion, so roll a d6 and a wild die as well. What did you get?
3 and a 2.
Okay, you just start babbling some random passage from Deuteronomy, which has no relevance to the situation at all.
I will shove past Preach while he's doing that, and go over to the sister, who may very well be the daughter. Instead, is are they breathing, or were they breathing before Ropos pulled all of their fucking wires out?
You can do, we'll just call it smarts.
Okay.
So you can inspect the sister and see what's going on.
This
6.
really.
That's a 6. That's a 1. So 11, 13.
Okay.
We can edit that out later when I struggle to add 6, 6, and 1.
I'll speak to Adrian. She's not breathing. She is not breathing, and seems to have not been breathing for some time.
Okay.
Angel,
Well,
are you
at least
doing...
you didn't kill her.
Angel, are you doing anything as Raw Paw strides over with the locket?
Tristan is just like looking, from side to side, like wishing he was right now anywhere else. Rob, can you explain something to me as to why you were possessed with the urge to take that locket?
Because we've seen these things, and none of them have anything remotely human associated with them. This one had a locket.
Do we think these things are naturally occurring, or does this give us some doubts that merciful providence is responsible for them?
This ain't providence. This ain't God. This is people.
Well, Sada, does anyone in this crew happen to know anything about this here science and how it might have led to these sisters being the family stalking the bayou that they are?
I know it ain't right.
Thank you, Preach. I was unaware of that.
This is the point where Boudreaux opens the locket. You see the color drain from the man's face. And
Mr.
he looks
Boudreaux?
over at the tank where Raw Paw found the locket. And he pushes you all out the way, and then he looks at the sister. And then he just sinks down to his knees and lets his head drop to the floor.
Mr. Boudreaux, not to intrude upon you in your time of grief, but it might be a matter of life and death to give us some explanations.
My daughter used to send me letters, and I didn't get one for some time. I was away in the war, you understand. And I didn't think nothing of it, but maybe thought that she was angry at the old man for fighting. When I first saw one of these sisters, I knew what was going on. That's how I lost my hand. I just somehow knew that this is where I'd find her. But you know something, boy? They're not going to do this to anybody's daughter or anybody's son ever again. You understand me? And with that, he takes the Lamont revolver, he aims at the ghost rock, and he fires.
Do we run now, or?
It's up to you. I'm
Sure.
going to allow y'all to have one action each.
Yeah, I'm gone. I'm heading for the
I'll take my
door.
chances with the gators. I'm not sticking around to get blown up.
I think that Shilin is on to something with her idea.
It sounds like you'll boot it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you all make me an agility roll, please?
Let me just check my agility.
Nice.
Okay.
8 and 1.
6 and 11.
8 and 7, 15.
So
Nice.
9.
1 and a 4.
At least you didn't get snake eyes. Bad things happen. Okay.
That was not ominous at all.
Snake eyes are bad. Real bad.
Yeah.
The good news and bad news. None of you die outright, but none of you roll better than Boudreaux. Yeah, he rolled ridiculously highly on that shoot and roll. The ghost rock cracks and then explodes. You guys get pretty far, almost out of the lab, but not before this blinding white light engulfs you, and all of your senses are in overdrive. It's almost like someone's let off a flashbang, and for some moment you find yourself suspended in this infinite light. And this is when your vision starts to slowly come back, and you're not in an abandoned old weird science laboratory in the bayou anymore. You're in a saloon, and there's one other person in the saloon with you, a very ghoulish looking gentleman with a black Stetson hat, the classic, bolero string tie, and black flannel shirt, black duster, black shoes, black trousers. And his face is skeletal. He sat there propping up the bar with a tumbler of whiskey. Even though no one else is currently in the bar, there is a piano playing Camptown Races. Someone needs to tune that piano. It sounds real bad. But this ghoulish person stands up and he strokes his long white beard and he says, "Hooray! Oh, we got ourselves some new residents. Howdy, friends. My name is Purgatory Bob. Well, I got some good news and some bad news for y'all. Which you want first?"
Let's start with the bad news. Always better to start with bad news.
Do I recognize Bob, or does he recognize me?
Actually, at this point, your inner demon is your skin's kind of gone translucent, Rawpaw. So everyone can now see this horrible golem-like demon crawled up inside you and hunched over, going,
What in the goddamn hell is that?
I think it's just raw paw.
That's a hard question. So do I recognize him, or does he recognize me?
Your demon recognizes him and seems pretty chuffed to see the guy. Purgatory Bob just gives your demon a nod.
Howdy, Bob.
Well, the bad news, friends, is you're all dead. Real dead.
I do not like this.
That does bring me on to the good news, is you're not necessarily permanently dead, but you're finding yourself in my bar. Welcome to Purgatory. Can I get you a whiskey?
Absolutely.
Yep.
You'll find a tumbler appears in your hand with a finger of bourbon. It's not the best, but you could be drinking it for the rest of time. Enjoy. Cheers.
How do we get
Y'all
undead?
folks might be wondering what you're doing here. Well, the lab you're in exploded, and didn't go so well for you. That's why you find yourself here. But you could all have a chance at going back if you fancy. You're more than welcome to stay. We have poker night on a Tuesday. We have a good old hootenanny on a Friday. And the rest of the time we spend drinking whiskey. It ain't so bad. Do any of you folks feel like leaving?
For the first time, you can see Leslie looks legitimately worried. And she's like, no. Talk to me. How do we get back? I can't stay here. I got shit to do.
Yeah, personally, I think I prefer the warm embrace of life over poker night in death. No offense, Bob. I'm sure your place is wonderful, but let's start the conversation about how we return to life.
All right. Well, my demonic friend here, are you in accordance?
You know, as much as I would love to stay here, I know I can't.
Fine.
And I'll be back eventually, so might as well make it now.
I feel like we got to put a pin in that, but we got to discuss that shit when we get back.
Well, preacher man, you finally at the afterlife. Preacher, are you staying or leaving?
We made some promises. Promises is big. Promises.
Well, if y'all want to get back, well, you're going to have to earn it. I'm going to step outside and when it reaches high noon, y'all can nominate one of you as your champion. And the rules are simple. Whoever shoots the other one first gets their wish. If I win, y'all pull up a chair, get comfy. If you win, I'll send you home. Which one of y'all's it gonna be?
I've got God on my side.
I'm gonna say me.
Did God teach y'all to shoot?
Oh, yes.
I did shoot 6 alligator women in quick succession in the head. All
yeah, but how many of them did die?
I think that's rather besides the point.
I got 2 people shooting for me.
I mean, if you don't mind, I'm happy to pick for you, folks.
Bob, this is a team conversation. Give us a minute.
Oh, sure, fine. Don't mind me.
No. Let him speak. Who would you pick? You'd pick the one that's the shittest. Never mind.
I was just about to bring that up, that Bob is not exactly an unbiased selector. No offense, Bob.
None taken.
So is this a duel?
It sure is, ma'am.
All right.
I've been in a lot of duels.
I think we've all been in a lot of duels, Rawpaws. That's the difficulty of it, and whoever chooses will be trusting their life into the other's hands.
Tell you what, we'll make it interesting. Why don't all 4 of you take me on? See if y'all can do it. Now
Sure.
step outside.
5. 5. Me and God.
Technically, then it's.
I walk out the door.
Yeah, I'll go with Leslie.
6 technically, because Rawpaws brought a friend.
And also God. Reapers got them. I'm not sure that's going to help very much, but
yes,
whatever it's worth.
It won't. Yeah.
So, assuming you will go out into the open, the first thing that strikes you is you ain't in Kansas anymore. I know this was Louisiana, but that's a bad joke. The sky is red. All of the buildings are decrepit, burnt out, splinters of what they once were. There are skeletons lying all over, and some of the fires are still burning. Even though you all left before him, Purgatory Bob is already out in the high street, standing under a clock tower, and grinning very cordially. You will find yourselves about 12 feet away, all lined up side by side, facing Purgatory Bob.
Hello, Bob.
He's going to call out to y'all. Well, friends, ain't nothing personal, but that's the way it's got to be around here. Now, I'm a fair spirit. If y'all manage to hit me, I'll send you home. But if I win, I'm afraid it's your turn to leave the hoot nanny.
Can I fast draw and shoot him now?
Damn it! I was going to say that.
You can certainly try.
Actually, no, this is good. This is good. Now I'm not the guinea pig.
Hey,
Are you trying this or?
I'm going to try and shoot him now. I've got a 6.
You quick draw, pull the trigger, but nothing happens. And Bob just goes, "Ain't how it works around here, preacher. Y'all gotta earn it. It's a duel or nothing. No funny business. I could have shot y'all through the eye, but I didn't, because I'm a fair goal. Now, you gonna do this properly, or am I gonna get upset?"
All right. So is there a count before we draw?
All right. So similar to the way combat works, we'll have 3 rounds before the draw. So no shooting until we've drawn all 3 of our cards.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to see yours. You're not allowed to see mine. You can choose to do nothing and wait till you've got your choice of cards. You can try and taunt, do anything other than shoot. We'll go clockwise again. So I'm going to look away. Louise, can you remember your card?
Yes.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay. Anything that Leslie wants to do, or just staring down Bob?
So this is in a duel. You wouldn't draw the gun, would you? Until you go. No. So
you draw
just hand on the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Okay.
Hands, like the thumb is kind of like running over that engraving that's on the wooden handle. That's it. Other than that, yeah, just jaw clenched, staring him down.
Okay.
Question: Is it ace high?
Ace is high, yeah.
Okay.
DB?
Okay.
Does Preach do anything?
Shoot him again. See what happens.
I imagine there's
God will say it's fine.
Preach says a quiet word with God.
Okay. Bob's face changes at this point, and Preach, you recognize it as a vicar you knew a long time ago. "There you are, sinner. You sow the seed of Satan, boy. How dare you show your face here? I'm gonna put a bullet in you like I should have done years ago."
Shoot him now.
You try to shoot, and again, nothing happens. Raw paw. There's your card. Can you see?
Yep.
Okay. And Tristan, now you're a duelist.
Yes.
Which is important because you get to draw 2 cards on your first draw. So I'll draw the first one. Make a note of it.
Okay.
And the second one.
Ooh.
We're good?
Yes, we are.
And Bob. Okay. Leslie, your turn. Here's your next card.
Sweet.
And you can all choose your highest card or whatever card you want when it's round 3 and you draw. Okay, so you've had 2. Preach.
Okay.
Roll Paul. Bob's face changes again at this point and changes to pretty slim, not impressive looking young man, but his eyes are furious. And he says, Paul, my name is Enos Irwin. You killed my brother Eustace. You son of a bitch. I'm gonna kill you now.
You can try.
And Angel, there's your next one.
Got it.
Do the suits
Okay.
matter, or is it just like
Suits are
none matter?
reversed alphabetical order. So Ace of Spades will be the best one you can possibly draw.
Mm-hmm.
Clubs is the worst.
Okay.
Back to Leslie. Final round.
Sure.
Okay. Does Leslie do anything, or is she just ready?
She's singularly focused on the
Okay.
shooting, on the aim, everything, just everything empty out. Big deep breath. In for 6, hold for 3, out for 6.
Okay. Bob's face changes, and you see Trixie. And she says, why did you leave me behind, Leslie? You were meant to protect me. Preach.
Okay.
Preach, do anything on the final round, or?
He's going to shoot again.
Preach is wild.
Again,
there's just a click. Roll Paul. Any last action from Roll Paul?
He just laughs. I don't care who you got in there.
Okay.
You're gonna die anyway.
And Tristan, your last card.
Oof.
Bob's face changes one last time. And you recognize who it is.
Ooh.
It's a balding middle-aged man. And he looks at you and he says, Tristan, son, I think it's time you come home now. I've missed you a lot.
Don't you ever call me that.
Okay. So, it's time to draw. I'm going to draw Bob's card. His highest one. And if you're higher, say draw. If you're lower, don't say anything. Ready?
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 Yep.
Draw.
Draw.
So from the sound of it, 4 bullets crack and go into Bob. Well, your version of Bob. So Leslie, describe what happens.
Through from when hearing Trixie say that, Leslie closes her eyes and kind of squeezes them a little bit. And then rolls her shoulders back and she says, "You ain't my sister because she told me to go." And then
Preacher.
I just know you need to go down. So you need to go down as soon as possible, and you're going down.
This time, your Colt Thunderer, assuming you're dueling with a Thunderer, not your shotgun.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd allow it. This time, the Thunderer goes off. Raw Paw.
I will see you again, Bob. Over and over and over. And I fire, and the flap of skin from right here on Bob's head folds back.
Nice. And Tristan.
Tristan just lowers the gun after he put it. It ain't you, because you're dead. And I ain't, which means you're in the way. So get out.
So all four versions of Bob in each of your eyes falls backwards onto the dirt and lays very still. And in a blink, Bob is stood before you. Well, oh, folks are mighty good with a gun. Woo-wee! Oh, jeez. It sure gets lonely in purgatory, though. Oh, man. Well, like I said, I'm a ghoul of my word, and I'll send y'all back. But next time I'll get you.
One question.
Well, that loneliness sounds like a Bob problem.
You question, friend.
Do you answer questions, Bob?
I can do for an old acquaintance.
What's his name?
Go fuck yourself, Raw Paul. He clicks his fingers, and you all find yourself back in the bar of the Cajun Princess.
which is currently in how many pieces? Just
It's
one?
currently intact and still scooting on down the bayou. Only this time, tain't no Sylvan Boudreaux sitting at the bar looking at you. It's just for you on your own.
Oh, I can't wait to repress this forever.
That's what I feel the overwhelming urge to shoot some gators.
Rawpaws just laughs, grabs his drink, and knocks it back.
Well, everyone, when you've been through something like this with other human beings, you never want to see those people again.
So why are you still here?
Final word from the preacher.
You know why I dragged you through that. You all know how you got through that.
Is it God?
It's God.
You know what? Next round, you know what? 4 whiskeys, put them on my tab. And shilling, that's what a tab means.
And you all enjoy a restful, pleasant cruise in your steamer down the bayou with no sisters this time. And that is where I'm going to call our session.
Well, hell.
Man, that was awesome.
Woo-wee.
That was so cool.
That was fun.
Damn.
Thank God
Got
he
it.
drew low. My God.
You drew the 5, a 5, and a 3.
Oh my
Do
god.
you know what I drew, Tom? On the second one, Ace of Spades.
Yeah, Ace of Spades.
No way. Ah,
Yeah.
damn.
Ace of Spades,
I had
so
a
no
King
matter
of
what
Spades.
happened, I was going to get you at least once.
I had a King
Oh,
of
man.
Spades, so
Guys, that was
Sick.
amazing. That was so
That was
much
so
fun. I hope you
fun.
all
Oh,
enjoyed
God.
it. And as you can see watching, doing something like Deadlands with 4 authors who do weird Western stuff or semi-weird Western stuff in Louise's case, pick up their books because they're fucking awesome. Seriously. But
Promise Leslie is slightly nicer in the book.
So
I just had to get up early
just gonna say, I'd be down for doing this again.
ditto.
Yeah.
Honestly, very ditto.
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
with the same group with Leslie, Patrick, Leslie, Preach, Raw Paws, and Tristan. Yeah, I'd be down.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't offend anybody with my accent. Sorry. Sorry, guys.
I mean,
Good.
yeah, we
I could
all
say
forgot
the
you're
same
Australian. So there you go.
Excellent. Excellent. That's what I want to hear. I'll say an oh no just to make everybody happy.
I just apologize for my hammy accents. So
No, yours were awesome.
You were the
You're
boss.
awesome.
That's the point of being a marshal. It was great.
exactly.
That was fantastic role playing from everyone.
We'll say a quick goodbye in the green room, but I'll end the recording here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to TBRCon. Thank you again to Louise, DB, AC, and Zach. Check out their books. They're really, 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 really good. And more people need to read weird westerns. I'm in a
Agreed.
proper
It's true.
western phase at the
Coming
moment.
around. Dragons are going down. Westerns are coming up. It's going to happen.
Enjoy the rest of your weekends, evenings, breakfasts, whenever you're watching this Deadlands. And